Welcome
What's
to
up?
another edgeful live stream. We got Andre here on as always, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it, bro. We had a nice stream on Friday, right? First one.
Yeah. No, it was
Yeah,
good. It was good. It was our first stream on Friday. Called out a couple of nice trades, but today's going to be a little bit different, I think, honestly. I'm There's a giant gap up on ES and NQ.
yeah,
I think it has to do with government shutdown and also maybe these tariff dividends. So over the weekend, Trump announced tariff dividends. So every person, there's like some income threshold, but every person's going to get $2,000. So kind of similar to the stimulus checks, but
sure.
not hope. I mean, from what I understand, at least, not from printed money, but from tariff money. So that's also, I'm assuming, why there's a larger pop here. So that's right now. NQ is up almost 400 points from Friday's high, and ES is up roughly 60 points from Friday's high. Both up roughly. NQ up over 1.5%, ES up roughly 1%.
Yeah, correct. So, and then we got some stocks here across the board. We got Nvidia up 3.3%, Tesla up 2%,
You
but
want to pull
all
up
of the
your
major.
screen?
Yeah, let's get that up
Here,
there.
I'll pull
Yeah, there
mine
we
down.
go. You
Yeah.
can see across the board here. Stocks are just soaring at the moment. Hood is
Yeah.
up, Robinhood's up, AMD, SMC, Palantir, MU. So things are obviously, climbing. I actually had some longs on, that's the DAX chart. Let's go to ES. I had some longs here as we broke through the opening range low yesterday. So you caught those shorts or spoke about the shorts on NQ on Friday as well as ES. About the data points with edgeful, and then I actually got some. I got some longs here, obviously more discretional play, but stop at the low here and end up getting some
Yeah.
longs. I didn't hold into the weekend, obviously, because that you never know what could happen there, right? So, yeah,
Yeah. I don't really like to hold into the weekend. Also, if I just pull up Edgeful quick,
yeah,
I'm just gonna pull this up quickly, and I just want to show you guys something. So, if we look at the gap fill report, and we go by weekday. I'll make this bigger, assuming that most people probably can't see it. So, if we look at Mondays in the last 6 months, if we look, I don't even care about the stats here. Well, I'm going to explain that in a second. But if we look at the stats over here, specifically this row, gap up and gap down, in the last 6 months, Monday has opened above Friday's close 20 times, gap up, only 6 times, gap down. So the way that I read this is like you never want to swing short on a Friday, hoping that Monday's going to open lower, at least in this
yeah,
market environment, because
yeah,
not only have there been way more gaps up, but 75% of these have not filled, which means price did not come down, which is also, again, bullish.
yeah,
So today, people have heard me talk about the ultimate reversal setup, right? With the indicator, I have it up here now. This is not in play for me today, right? Like yes, of course, we're opening above yesterday's high and close. We're opening above midnight open. This midnight open's a different story, but this gap fill is not in play today, especially being up over 1.5%. But you look at, for these swing traders, you look at Friday is actually very bullish to swing into a Monday, but long, right? So if you're swinging calls, I don't know if most of the prop firms allow swing trading, but
yeah,
if you have a small personal account, swinging long on Fridays is actually not a terrible idea because of what these stats show here. Gap up on Mondays, gap down on Monday is actually very low. So 77% of all Mondays have been gaps up. You can see that right over here. So that's just something I wanted to mention because, like, when I look at the stats here, when I look at Edgeful, I'm obviously extremely familiar with all the reports, every single one, exactly how they are calculated, exactly how they work, exactly how to use them. So the gap fill report traditionally is not meant for swing trading, right? But I know, because I look at the stats, that gaps up on Mondays are actually very, like, it happens all the time, because I look at this and I look at this data and I look at this data, and that's how I understand it. So I just wanted to tell you guys that if you are interested in swing trading, this is something that is actually not a terrible idea. Swinging longs into Monday. However, obviously it's very risky because there's a lot of news that can happen over the weekend. You want to have very tight risk when you do this, like, meaning, you obviously can't stop out because there's going to be a big gap from that Friday close to the Sunday open, but you want to have a small position size, and this is going to be one of the ways that you can capitalize on this weekend gap up. Does anyone have any questions about that, by the way? Because we do have this chat up here.
Correct. If you need any questions or got anything, we're obviously just going to speak about a few stats and that before we head into the open and see what we do get here. But I agree with you on this. I have, just in my experience, have seen Mondays, and obviously the data backs it up. Mondays gap up a lot more than gap downs.
Yeah,
at least in my time trading. So it's going to be quite tough for me. What I'm seeing in the market's obviously going to be quite tough to fade this move just as we speak right now. Right.
Let's pull up your screen again, just because it's small on my end. I'm sure it's small on everyone else's end.
There we go. So, obviously right now, from a technical point of view, we can speak about a few reports as well. But from a technical point of view, we're trading well above the overnight view app, right, which is the start of day view app, that black one. And this is a 5-minute chart, but we can go up to a 15 as well. Mostly execute on 5 and 15 personally. But look how we actually closed very, very strong. We actually almost erased the whole of that overnight session on Friday. We closed on the highs almost. So that is quite a bullish sign as well. That's why I did like the longs. End up closing actually just before market close my side. But we can see even like world indexes are trading higher this morning. The DAX, which I love trading in the London session, is trading higher. Japanese, the yen, and the Nikkei trading higher as well. And then the SA40, the South African stock market. And it just shows you how a lot of the markets just move based on what America does as well, how the American markets move too. So, yeah, I think right now, I know a lot of traders are going to be looking to come and try and fill this gap down here at, what would it be, at 766 on ES. But I mean, that's a good 60, 70 points low. So just be careful of trying to fade that momentum at the moment as we speak. You would agree with that, right, Andre?
Yeah. You don't want to, usually when you see a move, like a very big move like this, you don't want to be the one to fight it, because there's a catalyst most of the time. Like, you don't accidentally open 1.5% above Friday's high, right? Yeah. It doesn't just happen on a random day. It's there's usually going to be a catalyst, a reason that's going to happen. So you want to make sure that you're not fighting that catalyst, right? Whenever you see a catalyst, you never want to fight it. You want to let the dust settle and then attack after the dust is kind of settled.
Yeah. Just another interesting look at this. This is in the last 6 months on ES. This is the daily time frame. But look at Mondays. Mondays are closed 80% of the time as a bullish closing day. So this is a stat called green and red days by weekday. But look at this in the last 6 months. Let's go even to the last 2 years on ES. By closing, look at that, 68% of the time, call it 69% of the time on Mondays, we actually close as a bullish closing day. And remember, when I first started, because obviously I came from the currency trading background about last year, August, I started trading more of the indexes and individual stock names. And this was one of the stats that we used to speak about as well, Andre. Like Mondays, just, sometimes we get that slow grind. There could be a bank holiday on a Monday where we just get that slow grind higher. If you got any questions or anything on the edgeful stuff or what we're looking at on the charts heading to the open, just make sure to put it in the chat as well. Any other thoughts your side, Andre, on your screen?
Yeah, let's just pull up my screen again. So every single day, what I like to do is I'll go to a higher time frame. I'm on a 1 hour right now. I can go to a 4 hour. Just kind of looking like what's going on, right? Where are we relative to all-time highs, to recent lows, right? So literally just going through my watch list here and literally just going through, clicking my down arrow, understanding where we are. So right now I'm looking at 2020, all of 2025. This is obviously Tesla. And then we just go through Apple, and I'll probably zoom in here because it's probably easier to see. But like here, Microsoft back. So Microsoft made there was earnings that took it from roughly just under 400 to 440. It was a 10% move, like literally a straight line up, another earnings. And then now it's been consolidating in this range between like really like between 520-ish and 500, and then earnings again. And now it's flushed. Like this is just stuff that I like to know, right? Doesn't mean I'm going to do anything with it. I just want to understand like, are there any laggers? Are there any like outperformers? This is what I want to understand, right? So
Sure.
like even you look at Meta right now, I'm going to drop to a smaller time frame. Meta earnings, it down roughly 17% from the day of earnings. The low was down 20%. It's funny because I remember I told you guys in the last stream, the way that I like to like add into for my longer term portfolios, the way that I like to add into these bigger names is set orders. And ironically, I had an order set at 600. I'm pretty sure I said that last time, but if we zoom in, unfortunately, the low here was 601.20. Obviously did not get filled on that. Now we're back at 630, so up 5% from that 600 level. So like obviously definitely an area of interest. That whole $100 mark, those are always very key.
Yep.
And then I'll go back to my 4-hour. We look at Amazon. So Amazon's like recently into all-time highs. Obviously there was just earnings, but this is again just stuff that I like to know, right? Also Google. Long term, I'm extremely bullish on Google. I was talking about Google in not in April, but in May, in June, in July, that I do not understand how everything is in all-time highs and Google is not. I have been personally buying this whole run up. I continue to buy it even here. Personally, I don't think that it's possible, but it's very, very unlikely that Google is going to lose there's no way Google drops the ball on AI. There's like no company that has more data than them. They have search, they have YouTube, they have Gmail, they have Docs, they have like the Google Cloud. They have so many services that are perfectly suited to win in AI that like I just don't think that they're going to drop the ball. For any individual stock that if I had to hold one thing for the next 10 years, obviously not financial advice, but if I had to hold one thing for the next 10 years, it would be Bitcoin. If I had to hold one stock for the next 10 years, it would be Google. So
you're right. They do have all the search engines and everything like that, as you said.
They literally have everything.
Yeah.
They have maps. They have the self-driving cars. They have Waymo. There's literally like, it's insane. So
yeah,
Netflix, Palantir, Robinhood. So even like this 120 level at Robinhood is obviously like a very key level. So like this is something I obviously have an alert here, but this is something that I will keep an eye on. If I see Robinhood back at this 120 area, maybe this is an opportunity to buy. Obviously the $100 mark is like way more significant, but going through and looking, God, PayPal, like what a garbage stock. I mean, I don't understand why. Their earnings are incredible. Like their earnings growth is incredible. The stock is just terrible. But if you look at this chart, like everyone uses PayPal. Like literally, like everybody uses PayPal. Like every business uses PayPal. Like I don't understand how this stock is like still crushed the way that it is. But in my opinion, super undervalued company, PayPal. I agree. I don't think at all
I use PayPal. I use PayPal almost every day, bro.
Yeah. I mean, everyone does. I mean, I don't know who doesn't. Who like what business?
It's the most efficient company for international transactions.
It's not even close. Yeah,
I agree.
It's and And like most people don't want to buy crypto and then send it. Like you can obviously send crypto anywhere, but like not most people don't want to buy crypto and send it internationally. So
yeah, well, because you can't trace it if you stuff up the wrong address and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
So
and then also like bank transfers can sometimes take like 2 weeks, bro. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I got my first payout from one of these prop firms, which was like 4 years ago, bro, before they were even a massive thing. It took me 2 weeks to get the actual money reflected in my account.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
But yeah, let me we'll continue chatting about, but just a few levels on, let's get my.
Where'd you go, James? He's back.
I'm looking at potentially, let's just go out to like a 15-minute time frame. Like there's some levels that I'm watching. As long as we hold above the previous day's highs, I think I'm going to be looking for long. So that was kind of the gap up at 780. And then maybe long extension. And this is where I've got the edgeful indicators on, and you can get them too. If you go to your edgeful website on the right-hand side here, you should be able to hit trading view indicators. There is also the Ninja Trader indicators as well. But what I'm looking for on longer term extension, maybe if we get a move up this week, is previous week's highs, okay, which is that green line coming across my screen. And that is obviously from, as I said, the edgeful indicators. So that was last week's highs was up at 9:15, 9:10, call it. And last week's lows was actually created on Friday at 6:50. We actually had quite a big move on Friday, bro. Look at that close from the low to Friday's close. It was over 100 points on ES.
Yeah, it's insane, honestly. Like these ranges have been huge.
Yeah.
And you don't need to capture the whole thing, right? Yep. You do not need to capture the whole thing. You just need to catch on ES 10 points.
Yeah, 10 points, bro.
That's it. Like you just need to catch 10 points. Like it's really not, I'm not saying it's easy, obviously, but I'm just saying that it's not that, you don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to capture like 150-point move on NQ. You don't need to capture a 50-point move on ES. Like it's just like not.
It's not needed.
It's not consistent either. It's really not consistent. Like people have these dreams that they're going to capture the whole move. They want to do this, whatever else. Like it's not consistent when you try to swing for the fences every single trade. It's just not.
Yeah, I agree. Also, something to note: the VIX is trading lower today, underneath levels from last week to back underneath 20. So just keep an eye out on that. Obviously, we sparked on last week with the volatility increasing, as well as normally when VIX is higher. This is the rule of thumb: VIX higher, stocks down, typically. Right? Do you use the VIX a lot in your own trading, Andre?
Actually, never.
Yeah,
I used to a lot more when I traded options more actively, but honestly, never. And if I do, I will only look at it on the daily time frame.
Sure.
Otherwise, never. There are always good opportunities if you're an options seller to, when you see a larger spike like this. So anyone who's an option seller, this is going to be I'm not sharing my screen. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
So anyone who is an option seller, and you need to obviously be worried. You need to look at the liquidity of the options that you're selling. You need to see how they're moving. But there's like pretty much no period. I'll just give me a second. I'm gonna. So there's like no, besides March of 2020, obviously. So if we look at the last 5 years, there's no period where the VIX has stayed above 50 for more than like a couple of days.
Sure.
So if price gets all the way back up there and you start to sell options, right? You sell the calls here. It's obviously high risk because there's usually a catalyst that creates this. But if you were to sell the options up here, it's pretty likely it's going to come back down. Like the only time I think, so there's 2008 where the VIX was above 50 for an extended period of time. And then 2020. right? So 2008 was roughly 60 days. 2020 was roughly 30 days. But other than that, it's happened twice. One of them was August. What happened in August 2024?
No, August 2024 was that big. The Japanese, I think they changed their interest rates. Yes.
Oh yeah.
For the first time, for the first time ever. Yeah.
So so this was one single day where it spiked up, came back down, and then immediately fell back to like this 20 area. Again, the tariff conversation when it first came out, price comes up, consolidates for 1 or 2 days, comes back down. So obviously you need to wait for a big catalyst, and it is a very high risk trade because if it goes from 50 to 80, you're getting cooked. But it doesn't really stay up that high for that long. So just something to keep in mind.
Just something I have found personally, that when the VIX is trading at 18 or higher, I do a little bit better in my trading compared to when the VIX is quite low, like underneath 15. The volume and volatility can be a little bit. The ranges are a little bit more tighter, so you can get faked out a little bit. But my big focus for this week, and I think this is something that everyone should be doing their own trading. My big focus is only to look at day trading ES and individual stock names. I think sometimes when I'm trying to do like YM and ES and all at the same time can sometimes get a little bit much at times. Just keeping it simple my side. So obviously with this gap up, I mean, we could get some nice plays here, like on some of these stock names like SMCR and stuff like that are on some nice levels on the higher time frames too. Like even like, for example, look at Robinhood's actually coming off that daily 50 EMA, which could be quite a nice area to buy.
Pull up your
there we go. So if you look at the daily time frame on Robinhood, we're coming off this 50 EMA, which is that blue line coming across my screen. Even a stock like SMCI as well, which has been a little bit selling off in the last bit, but it's coming off quite a nice level here at about $40 like that. So yeah, we're gonna have to see what sets up on these two. AMD, AMD also had a little bit of a pullback too, but still long term. It's in the last couple of weeks since that beginning of October, it's been trading much higher. I think it was 18% overnight in one day. I think it was that something with NVIDIA. They had been doing something like that. So
it's. I don't do. You know what I need to do? I need to do more research on the chip names like AMD, NVIDIA, TSM, or is the ticker TSMC or is it TSM?
TSM, Taiwan Semi.
Yeah,
TSM.
I don't really do too much research on those, honestly. When NVIDIA had that crazy, like, I don't know what it is now, a couple of years ago, but
you're talking about
like
back
the
2024.
When it had that initial crazy run in 24.
Yes.
I have never heard anyone talk about the stock before.
Before
that,
I
never heard anyone talk about the stock before.
Yeah.
And I guess like ChatGPT. Go ahead.
It was trading at under $20 a share. Obviously, they've had a couple of stock splits right now, but still.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know about anyone watching, but like, I've literally never heard this company be mentioned ever until the crazy earnings that they had. And I feel like the release of ChatGPT was a big a big catalyst there. But I don't know. It was not even on my radar before that.
Sure.
It's crazy to think about. When it was at the time before the split, it was sitting at, the earnings came out, it went to 500, and which is now $50, and then came back down below 500 to 380. And I was like, oh, there's the move. Like, it's going to come back down. It's going to fill this gap, like its earnings gap, and that's going to be whatever. It'll be like a normal company. That 380, and I remember like looking at it on the day of, it hit, like, it had broken 400. It was like a major fake out at the time. And I think I'll just pull up my screen again here one sec.
Yep. Make sure, guys, if you are listening, put your comments in the live chat, not in the Discord.
Yeah. And where was it? It was like, I'm going to drop down to a 4 hour. So 390 actually was the number. But I remember being like, oh, this is it. Like it broke 400. It's going to continue go lower. It's going to fill this gap. There was like an earnings gap right over here. And then whatever it is, right? Literally like this was the low. That when it touched 400, and it was 400 before the 10-to-1 split, this was it. And then it never looked back. And like you look at this chart, it's like absolutely insane. But yeah, literally from here to now, it's up almost 400%. It's absolutely insane. By the way, the market's going to open in a minute now, so I'll just pull this back up.
Yep, 45 seconds.
So I have NQ and ES up on my charts right now. Again, I am not expecting this gap to fill. Not only is the gap very big, but it's also Monday, so Mondays don't tend to fill that gap very often. But yeah, we have 30 seconds until market opens. I'm going to pull up my economic calendar. So no news today.
Let's have a look here. No news. No news today, bro. No news
CPI
today.
on Thursday, though.
CPI is on Thursday, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. And retail sales Friday. In terms of earnings, I think NVIDIA is only reporting next week, but we can also have a look at earnings calendar. Earnings.
Yep.
We have.
And there it is. The market open. I'll drop down to a smaller time frame here. I'm going to turn off my ultimate reversal indicator just because it's not very likely to happen today. And so yeah, now we wait, right? This is the boring part. I personally have found that I will almost always get I will take losses more often trading this like first minute or two than I will have wins.
Yeah.
So for you guys, like, I mean, it might be different, but that's something that I will always consider.
Yeah. Anyone got any thoughts or bias in the chat? Yeah, make sure to put in the chat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe opening higher as expected.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I'm getting a quick call. I'm just going to turn off my camera and my, what's it called? I'll be right back.
Cool, guys. So as I said, like same with me, I typically like to wait. Let's put my screen back up like this. Let's go like that. Let's get Andre off here. Let's put my screen back on there. There you go. So I typically like to wait the first 15 minutes as well, heading into the open. And also just a bit of lower volume right now, the last 2 hours pre-market too. So we are taking out these pre-market highs. Let's have a look at some of the stock names as well. NVIDIA and Tesla trading higher as expected. Tesla has been pretty volatile in the last couple of days, trading week. We've traded very, very aggressively. Can actually go to some of the stats here with edgeful as well. Let's go to that opening candle continuation report with Tesla, particularly. If we look at this, let's make sure that the correct data is on. Wait for it to load. Okay, opening candle. Let's go to reports. We can see that, and this is 60 minutes, but you can customize it. But in if the first hour is bullish, 75% of the time we will close as a bullish closing day and vice versa for the shorts. We can even have a look at NVIDIA as well. I did post about AMD this morning on my Twitter too. But yeah, look at that. Tesla 80% and 74%. This is in the last 2 years, guys. So this is great data, even AMD. Let's have a look at AMD. Okay. So that first hour does provide great information for what possibly the rest of the day could do. Look at AMD as well, 79% and 76%. And this is in the last 2 years. So that's pretty powerful data to have on your side. But yeah, stocks opening green here. ES still trading above that 820 level, which is pre-market highs. Anyone got any thoughts or questions in the chat right now? Anyone got any positions on at the moment too? Yeah, Robin Hood getting some lift here as well. So stocks are green. Stocks are green for sure. I think my plan today right now is just to stay focused, sit on my hands and wait until I get my setup. We're trading above the London opening range as well. Wait for the 50-minute to set here on ES.
I'm back.
Yo. This could be a slower day for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to be forcing anything today because my bias is to the long side, just based on the catalyst here.
Sure.
And we've had such a big move up already that I'm not super interested in just chasing it. So,
agreed.
Yeah, I don't really want to be bearish right now, personally.
Yeah, it's tough to fade that overnight move, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could. Yeah, no, I don't recommend it. I mean, you could scalp around, but you got to wait for something to set up.
Yeah.
Right, like you have to wait for something to set up here, and Meta's having a pretty aggressive sell-off.
Let's have a look. Meta.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the open.
Yeah, Meta. I mean, like as crazy as it sounds, I hope it keeps falling. Honestly, like, I've been saying it for months. I was pissed when I never caught that move when it initially sold off when was it? When was this? When it initially sold off a few years ago.
Let's have a look here.
The bottom being in 22. So you just my screen, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah, with your screen up. Yep.
So the bottom being this November 2022, I remember thinking the sentiment was so bad, and like you have to remember that like at the time it was 77% off of the all-time high.
Sure.
Like thinking about a company that is as big as Facebook was at the time, 77% off of the all-time high. Like it literally wiped. What is this? What price is this? It had wiped 6 years of gains in just over a year. I remember there was so much negative news around the company. The sentiment was horrible. And I was like, that's it. Like this company's cooked. Like that's it. They're going to have major problems going forward. They steal their customers' data, whatever else, right? All the stuff. I bought into the sentiment from the mainstream, like all the news, right? CNBC, all that stuff. I bought into it. And I was like, that's it. This company's screwed. Like, that's it. And literally from there, it has made, honestly, like a generational run. Even with this pullback, it's up almost 600% to all-time highs. It's up almost 800% from the bottom there. I mean, maybe this is like more of an emotional decision that like I want to own this company because I missed this generational run. But like the company is stronger now than it was in 22.
Sure.
Like they have more addicted users, like to be frank, more addicted users than they did before. And their platform is only growing. There's no signs of like slowing down when it comes to short form, when it comes to content creation, when it comes to like new, like, yeah, right. Like there's nothing that's going to like, there's nothing that's scary for Meta in terms of like the stock. So I would love for it to fall to 500. I would love for it to fall to 400, honestly. If it can get a 50% pullback from all-time highs, I would be thrilled, honestly. If it could fill this earnings gap from January of 24, I would be absolutely thrilled, honestly. But yeah, now we're sitting here with a ripper of a move up.
Yeah. Yes, it's trading at 8.30 now. No, just one-way traffic to the high side at the moment. I can't buy it here, though, bro, at the moment. Yes. I can't.
Yeah, like I would love to. So I'm on a 1 minute now.
As a day trader. Obviously, if you're buying longer term, it doesn't really matter. But I'm saying for day trading. I was just going through some of the reports actually while you're off there on the opening candle continuation. Have a look at this, bro. This is pretty powerful trading data. If you look at the opening candle continuation, this is on AMD in the last 2 years. If that first hour was bullish, 79% of the time we closed as a green day, and vice versa for the short, 76.
Yeah.
Even if you look at I was going through Tesla too. Look at that, 75 and 73. So yeah, that first hour of trading does tend to dictate like possibly the rest of the day's trading. For sure. Very rarely are you getting the first hour being bullish and then it completely reverses the whole direction, direction.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you find these patterns. What is going on?
Yeah, we're just ripping. We are just ripping.
Where do you find, I know you, is there any catalyst going on right now, or is it just continuation from the...
Can have a look at financial juice for breaking news, but just seems like everything is just ripping across the board.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Palantir's up. Everything.
Do you ever look at anything in a grid view like this?
Let's have a look. Get your screen up. No, not really. Not really. Yeah. Not with different tickers.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know who's trading right now, but I mean, if you got long, that's awesome. But I don't really know what your thesis could have been.
Just buy because it's gapping up.
Yeah, right. Like I guess, but I don't really know what your thesis could have been, to be honest. I'm on a 1 minute chart right now, just so we can kind of see it for the sake of like you guys. But like, yeah, I mean, you gotta, and it doesn't mean that you want to go short either. It doesn't mean that you short this, just so you guys know. Like, just because you're not going long doesn't mean you have to go short. That's really important. Yeah. So you just wait. And that's obviously super important, right? Like you wait, you let the price action form, you let the structure form a little bit, and now you have areas to put your stops, you have areas to put your targets, but you have to wait, right?
Yeah. And even sometimes as day trading, sometimes it's better to sometimes just sit in your hands, bro. It doesn't have to be trading all day, every day.
Yeah.
Any questions in the chat? Any questions in the chat? See if it's actually live on. Let's go through to the YouTube, make sure that it is live, but it should be good. Yeah. Well, we're actually getting the chat through, but it's not coming through on our side. There's a lot of questions in the chat, but
I just opened the chat. I see.
Yeah. Can you see it? I can't see it.
Yeah, I can. I opened it. I didn't pull it. I haven't like put it on the screen yet, but
yeah, but maybe because I think you're the host on here, so I can't see it my side. I think I was the host last time.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, I can't see it, but I can see it on the actual YouTube link. But I can't see it on the back end my side over here. Andre. So just to
I'm checking it right now. That's weird.
yeah.
Can you see it now?
No, it just showing me the restream. It's just showing me the restream. But yeah, I can see I'm in some MNQ longs from London. I'm holding some long swings on the DAX. Okay, nice. So we've got some guys trading the DAX here. Yeah, good morning. What's up, Mark? Yeah, this is not a fadeable gap off the open. I agree. What's up, Tape Raider? I think you did follow me on Twitter. Good to have you on. And then, yeah, just an interesting point on the VIX levels. I need to backtest that. Yeah, so just on the VIX levels, I was saying that I trade best when they're between 18 and 25. When it drops below 15, I find that it can be a little bit more tough, just in terms of my own personal trading.
Yeah, and I'm so annoyed that you can't see this chat.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think maybe because you're the host, but I can't see anything my side. I have to be on the actual live.
Can I make you host?
Well, co-host. I don't know if it can do that. But yeah, we'll test it out at the end.
Okay.
End. I can just read on the back end for now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean this pump right now is absolutely nuts. Like I don't know. I mean, there's this to me, and I hope that if you guys follow some other traders, that you guys are that they're also not telling you to buy here.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough as a day trader. I think if you're swing trading with a wider stop, like 100-point stop on ES, that's fine. But I mean, if you're day trading this with a 10-point stop, you don't know how much more this is going to go. But it doesn't look like it's slowing down here at the minute.
Yeah, it's so hard for me to understand how people want to, like on NQ, not the micros, but the minis. Like, let's just look at this candle. It's 943, 1 minute candle was 15 points.
Sure.
Like there are people, there's like so many people that will set a stop at like 10 points. And this is a 1 minute candle. That would have like taken out your stop if you were long.
Sure.
So guys, like my biggest piece of advice is to size down and widen your stops, because it gives you the opportunity to actually stay in the trade, right?
Yeah.
Like if you get wicked out, let's just say you got long after this giant candle at 935, right? And you got long at the close of the candle. Now there's a pullback of 14 points. You get stopped out just for it to run another 50 points higher. It's better to size down, not have as big of a winner, but have a wider stop so you can actually capture these moves.
Yes.
And like be in it, right? Like honestly, I think a lot of people's problems are because they oversize. And I'm curious if you've seen that too, James. Like, are a lot of the problems because of size?
I agree. I mean, sizing particularly on futures contracts, sometimes with the guys, with what I see in my own trading sometimes as well, is that you size too big, so you don't give your trade enough space to room to breathe. Let's say that,
Yeah.
and then you're getting stopped out, and you might have the direction right, but your size is you have to have like an 8-point stop on ES or a 30-point stop on NASDAQ, which can sometimes, if you don't have that dialed in entry, can be pretty tough at times. So I agree 100% with that. You need to be smaller sizing, particularly for newer traders or traders. Even if you like the direction, for example, on a day like today, you might just want to buy because it's going up, but you'll have to go with a much wider stop because you don't know where price could turn around at. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I would need to see something here, some structure, something for it to give me some sort of trade setup here. And guys, you don't need to trade every day, right?
Yeah.
Cash is also a position. So please obviously keep that in mind. I just want to check, obviously, previous day's range. The only thing that opened or has touched previous day's low is Costco and RTY. But everything else has broken previous day's high. Obviously, in this case, The way that we do this report, by the way, guys, this is actually really important, is it doesn't mean that it necessarily touched previous day's high today. It means that price is higher than previous day's high today.
Sure.
So it doesn't always mean that it has to reverse and touch, or it has to break out of yesterday's range. If price like is just opening above previous day's high, that will count as a break there. So
yeah, super interesting.
We're actually getting I would love to see a pullback here to start to build a little bit of structure, but
there's just ripping. Yeah, Nvidia is still kind of at its overnight level, so would not be surprised to just see this grind higher stocks across the board today. And maybe it doesn't even give us an entry.
Yeah, that's the. I kind of have a feeling today I'm not going to take a trade today, but.
Can you show the running trade and edgeful? So we don't have a running trade right now. None of us are in a position at the moment. Yeah.
By the way, guys, I mean, let us know in the chat too. Do you like this view better, whether we're on the side, or do you like this view better where the screen is a little bit bigger and we're overlaid on top of it?
Yeah.
Just let us know what you guys prefer. So Eddie asked a question. I'm just going to pull it up here. What's good size on MNQ? Very good question, and it very much depends.
Yeah.
Right? It depends on the type. I recommend, no matter what, start with one contract, one micro. The reason I say one micro is because if you can't trade one micro, it's going to be very hard for you to trade 5. Sure. The only benefit that I would say to trading 2 micros versus 1 is that you can take partials.
Yeah.
But overall, you want to start with 1 because it's the minimum size that you could put on. And when you do that, it gives you it's very hard to be emotionally attached to a trade that if you're down, whatever, 10 points, you're down $20 on 1 micro. But if you start to size up to 5 or 8 contracts, like that starts to add up, right? So you want to build the good habits using small size, because using bigger size will always impact your emotions to the point where it'll interfere with your trade. So the way that what I would recommend for you guys is use the smallest possible size you can, build some good habits, build consistency, and then size up, because you're just taking those skills that you've learned and you're applying it to bigger size. Scale, like trading is one of the skills, the businesses that has, you want to say, virtually infinite scale. And when you have like infinite scale, like what that means is you can go from 1 contract to 5 to 10 to 50 to 100. It doesn't really matter, right? Like the market can handle a 500, like even on NQ on the minis, it can handle 500 contracts. Like you want to trade in monster size like institutions do, the market can easily swallow up 500 contracts, no big deal. So starting with 1 micro, building good habits, building consistency, and then slowly scaling over time. But that answer, the question here, what is good size, is very, very dependent, obviously, on your trading style, on your personality, on your experience, and everything else.
Also depends on how much drawdown you're giving yourself. If you are trading a personal cash account and you want to risk $200 a trade, you can't. If you're trading 1 mini, that could be, you're going to have to trade with very, very tight stop losses. If you are trading, with $100 or $200 of risk a trade, you're going to probably want to trade, probably like 2 to 3 macros max. So it just depends on the daily drawdown, or the stop loss size that you want compared to how much risk you want per trade as well. So that's probably the best way to kind of explain that.
Yeah. And guys, you don't want I'm gonna pull this up. I'm sure
Bigger,
everyone
bigger
has seen it.
sizing. Bigger sizing means that you have to have tighter stops compared to your risk. Smaller sizing, bigger stop loss placement, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
remember, we've only started these streams. So for those that are joining for the first time, we started these streams last week, Friday. We're going to be every single Friday and Monday. Friday and Monday, Monday and Friday at 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern time. We are going to, we'll introduce a few things. Like guys are asking for the edgeful trade to be up on screen. This is something we can add, stuff like that. But we'll always let you know if we take on trade and so forth.
Yeah. So, guys, I want to talk about this for a second, and
this is a good graph. Yeah.
This is like, I'm going to keep the chart here on the side just because I know that people want to see it. But this is so important. And if you see me talk about this, you're going to understand why. But what this chart shows is the probability of taking a certain amount of consecutive losing trades based on a win rate that you have, right? On a strategy's win rate. So what everyone says in the trading industry is 2-to-1 risk to reward, 50% win rate is profitable. And it technically is. However, what they don't tell you is that there's an 80% chance that you take 6 consecutive losing trades. 80% chance that you take 6 losers in a row and the strategy is not broken. So what that means is most people are not going to be able to stick to a strategy after they take 6 losers in a row. They're going to start to move their stops. They're going to start to oversize. They're going to start to do something that's going to interfere with the strategy. So I actually don't think that most people would sign up for a 50% win rate strategy if they knew these stats here.
Yeah.
Where I would recommend people go is the win rate should be higher and the risk to reward should actually be lower. You do not have to trade with a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 or 4-to-1. You can trade even with a 1-to-1 or less. I take trades all the time that are 1-to-1 or less, all the time. And what that does is it allows me to capture a winner, actually hold to my target, and to bank winning trades that are more consistent than not, right? If you trade something with a 4 or 5R, it is a lot less likely, obviously, that price is going to go all the way to your target, which makes your trading a lot less consistent. So I recommend 70% win rate or ballpark of that, 60, 65, 70. But you guys need to understand what the number of consecutive losers you should expect are based on the win rate. So if you look at that 70% here, there's a 55% chance that you take 4 losers in a row, but there's only a 21% chance that you take 5 losers in a row. So for me, I'm happy around here. I'm happy to leave money on the table, but I want to make sure that my win rate is high.
Yeah, and we spoke about this on Friday as well. Higher win rate, lower risk to reward ratio. They're kind of inversely correlated. Lower win rate, higher risk to reward ratio.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah, I'm still flat right now, bro. Personally, I don't. I'm okay with not needing to trade.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what is dragging up this market right now.
Yeah. So we did speak about what we look at. We can even have a look at like financial juice as well. They normally give the breaking news. I'm not really getting anything much across my board over here. There hasn't been any breaking news.
So Tesla consolidating, Apple up ripping, Nvidia consolidating, Microsoft ripping, Broadcom falling, Meta kind of bouncing, Amazon kind of consolidating now, Google ripping, Netflix ripping, Palantir ripping, Hood kind of consolidating, Figma down horrendous. This is not actually a part of this Mag 7 or whatever else, but if I start to see some of these bigger weighted names start to fall, like the Apple, Microsoft, Google start to reverse, that will give me some sort of more confidence to take a trade.
Sure.
Short, but still, I mean, even here, right? This pullback that we just saw, where's your stop going? If you wanted to long this, right? Like, where does your stop go?
Yeah, it's a tough one. You're going to have a pretty big stop on that.
Like, is your stop at new low of day? That's almost 80 points here on NQ. And you look over here, same thing. Like, are you going to put your stop below like this structure here? That's almost 10 points on ES.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot. So I don't know. I'm not seeing the best structure here today, in my opinion. And then now it looks like ES a lot weaker than NQ here. Obviously, Google is absolutely ripping.
Yeah. Yes, back above 830. Any more questions? Yeah, okay, yeah. Stop loss. Yeah, one micro. There you go. Some of the guys saying they prefer the bottom on the screen.
They prefer the bottom. Okay.
Interesting. Okay, there we go.
That's fine. So now you look at something like this, and now you have some structure to take a short, but you're stepping in front of a freight train pretty much.
Yeah, you are. I would not advise that.
Yeah, like you have some structure here to take a short because your risk to reward will be, or your actual stop loss will be pretty tight. But like, I don't know, like we need some sort of confirmation on shorts, honestly.
Yeah.
We're not really seeing that right now.
Yeah, I would not, on a day like today, if you can't find longs, I would not just mess around. That's how you can get yourself in trouble too. You're on the wrong side of momentum and you try and fade that, you could see your ass for sure.
Yeah.
Anyone that's using edgeful actually in the live chat, any of your guys' favorite reports and stuff like that to have a look at?
Yeah, if you guys have questions about reports, we can always cover those too.
Especially on days like today where, I haven't found a position, you haven't got a position.
Yeah.
I mean, personally also, Andre, like even if I did buy ES into the open because I'm like, man, let's just buy it because it's moving higher. I mean, I would have, where does my stop would have to go something like, I'd have to buy it like this almost with into the open. My stop would probably
let me pull up your screen one sec.
My stop would probably have to go something like this, bro, like 22 points underneath the next closest structure. And then I'm only really getting, 16. So maybe I could have had a little winner like that, but it's tough. I don't like personally having a position into open because, I mean, we could be bullish overnight and then the open drops 20 points and then it's just like a dumb trade, Yeah,
and those trades are almost always going to be those like FOMO trades that you wish you didn't take if they don't work. Yeah. And the problem with taking those trades is that if they do work, it builds a bad habit of like, you'll start to do it again. So you do it again and then you lose because there's no actual thesis behind it. And you take your stop on ES is giant. And I mean, it's just not. The problem with taking very risky trades like that is if it works, it builds the bad habit. If it doesn't work, you're furious because you took a bad trade.
Correct. Yeah. And exactly. Yeah. And obviously if that had lost, I'm going to be like, what the hell, James? Like I never trade into the open. What am I doing? Yeah. It's like you're furious at yourself because there's probably going to be a better opportunities later on in the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, just having a look across the board. I mean, even the the world stock market indexes like the Japanese Nikkei is almost up 1%. The South African, as I said, South African index gapped up pretty heavily today. From Friday, we gapped up actually over 1.5%. So yeah, must be what what was the actual tariff things over the weekend that were driving this?
Well, I think the government shutdown is going to end soon, or there's like hopes that it will.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's obviously bullish. And then there is the tariff dividend. There was an announcement. There was a tweet that came out that said that there is an income threshold, obviously. So it's like if you make over a certain amount, you don't get it. But pretty much it's that because of all the tariff revenues, they're going to give $2,000 to like U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I would prefer if they just like paid down the debt a little bit more, to be honest. But,
yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, I just don't want like inflation. I'm very, very scared about inflation, and maybe I'm not the right. Maybe I'm not thinking about it right. Maybe it's just like, yeah, the U.S. will never fall or whatever else. Maybe this time it's different, but I don't know. I'm very concerned about inflation, honestly, and I hope that we can figure something out to where the average home price is not going to be $2 million in 10 years from now. I'm really hoping that, but it's, I don't know, honestly. Like I'm very concerned about that personally, and I hope that they can figure it out. I hope they can do something with the debt. I hope they don't have to continue to print more money, because the more money that they print, it's an invisible tax on everyone. Yeah. It really is. And when I was actually thinking about making a video on this, like inflation explained in simple terms.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, that would be great, because a lot of people actually don't understand it in too much in depth.
Yeah, it's the way that you want to think about. I'll try to like break it down a little bit simply right now.
Sure.
But let's say that you have a Ferrari.
Okay.
Right. And you want to go and buy, let's just say, a house with it. Let's say it's a $500,000 Ferrari. You want to go and you want to buy a house. You go to the owner and you're like, would you trade me your house for this Ferrari? He's like, yeah, great. Okay. So now that Ferrari is going to be used as your money, right? As your medium of exchange. Now let's just say that for the company Ferrari needs more money. And they're like, you know what? We have this Ferrari. We know it'll sell. We know that there's demand for it. Let's just make 10,000 of them. We'll sell all of them and we'll get more money, because we need more money. We need to operate the business. We're going to make 10,000 of these Ferraris and we're going to sell all of them. Okay. They do it. Now, what happens to the value of your $500,000 Ferrari when there's 10,000 more that just appeared out of the sky? It's obviously not going to be worth 500,000 anymore, right? So the issue is that now you need more Ferraris. Let's just say cut the value in half. So instead of needing one Ferrari to buy that house or to trade for that house, you need two. That is inflation with your dollars. So you need to replace, now in this example, you replace the Ferrari with dollars. And now they don't buy you as much anymore. It's still the Ferrari, right? It's still a $100 bill. It's still a Ferrari. The same thing. It hasn't, the physical thing hasn't changed, but its value has changed. And what it can buy you has changed. And that is the problem. And imagine every single year, Ferrari just makes 10,000 more, 20,000 more, and 50,000 more, and 100,000 more the year after year after year. What happens to your $500,000 Ferrari? It doesn't buy you anything anymore, because there are so many that are flooded the market that nobody cares. It doesn't have any value. It doesn't. There's no scarcity. There's no value to it anymore. There's more that are coming often, like more often and more often, and that is one of the simplest ways that I can try to explain inflation and what it really what the impact on you is that you need not one now, but you need 2 Ferraris to exchange for that house.
Makes sense.
That is a major, major, major issue.
Someone that's a good explanation actually for inflation, and that's what they're doing by printing more money, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone was mentioning in the chat here that they like gold longs. I mean, that looks. I agree with them. It does look pretty nice. We're taking out the opening range. I wonder what the orb is on gold actually, but the opening range high has been taken out. You could maybe look for like a stop underneath the opening range low, and then you target back at those highs. Or give you a 1-to-1 reward ratio, something like that. I don't trade gold too much, so I more prefer trading the indexes and individual stock names. But yeah, that makes sense. Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin doing? We can actually have a look at that too. Bitcoin's up above 105K at the moment. Do you hold any Bitcoin or trade Bitcoin at all, Andre?
Oh, it's the only crypto that I would ever buy.
Yeah.
I would never buy anything else. I know a lot of people would get upset about that. I know a lot of people like ETH. I know a lot of people like XRP, Solana, Litecoin, whatever. Personally, I'm not interested in picking the next 100xer. I'm more interested in just buying
Stable.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like I just want to buy Bitcoin. I just want to continue to buy more of it. I buy more all the time. I don't care if the price keeps going up. I will just continue to buy more as it goes up, as it goes down. I don't really care. But I think that obviously not financial advice, but I think everyone should have Bitcoin. Because
sure.
Ironically, going off of the conversation that with the inflation, with the Ferraris, you cannot print more Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So by itself, that is a huge, huge, huge value add for Bitcoin. That's obviously arguably one of the only reasons that it's as popular as it is because if you buy it, you know that it cannot be debased. Like there cannot be more like a billion Bitcoin printed and then now your Bitcoin is worth way less. That is arguably the biggest value driver of why it's even gained the popularity that it is or it has, because it's actually the only thing in human history, I think, that you can't just print more of besides the land.
Sure. Yeah, we are trading back higher on Bitcoin as well. Actually got back underneath 100K. So it's interesting.
Yeah. By the way, if you go to a 5-minute chart right now and you zoom in, it looks absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. 5 minutes on. Yes. Here we go. Yep. That makes, we are wanting to take the highs here though.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can't trade this at the moment.
Yeah, it's not great. ES is weaker, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of this right now. There's a lot of wiki price action. Typically, that's not always going to give you the best opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, 5. I mean, I did get I think my algo is long on NQ at the moment, so
yeah,
we'll maybe take a win on the algo side of things, but my algo is long NQ. That's where I'm just trusting the data and letting it do its thing. I can't, from my discretional trading it right now, I can't find any entries at the moment.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
I mean, I would not be surprised to see this grind higher all day. Makes sense. Mondays being that, just for anyone that is tuning in for the first time over here, we did go over this green and red streaks by weekday. Let's go to ES on that. We can even go to NQ as well. But look at this in the last 2 years, the green and red days by weekday on the daily time frame. So not the New York session, just the complete day. 68% of the time, Monday is by far the biggest. And obviously, indexes have been roaring in the last 2 years. But interesting to see in the last 5 years, because obviously 2022, we had that that bearish year where the NASDAQ, and that was down 20%. But yeah, I mean, still look at that, 61% in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is tough to look at it like that when you look at it for 5 years, just because it blends a lot of the data.
Yeah.
But it's just part of the deal, obviously. Like, because it you take the average of the extremes, and then you don't see the extremes when you look that far back. But yeah, it's an interesting. Mondays are universally bullish. Like, it just, I don't know why. I don't know. I don't really care why, actually. But what I know is that Mondays are universally pretty bullish. The data shows it across the board. And yeah, it's just like something important to note here. I mean, also, I know my screen isn't up, but for anyone watching, like, what do you guys think about
Let's have a look.
The screen size right now? Like, does it look good?
There's your screen there as well.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to zoom in because I'm assuming this looks very small right now. So like, usually I will have yesterday included because like it's easy for me to see it. But if we zoom in more, like I'm curious, like, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
So let us know on that.
I think Project X has issues. Yeah, that would be on their side. It's been a year since I discovered. Yeah, we go. It's been a year since I discovered edgeful, and honestly, it's the most flawless project I've ever seen. Huge thanks to the amazing team. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're just trying to help traders every day. So I just pulled it up right here so everyone can see it. Yeah, I appreciate you. It's hopefully we make it look easy. It's not really as easy as it might seem, but yeah, it is a very important project for us. Like, it's like my baby. Like, James has also been here since, I would say, day one, pretty much, like since before we even had a product that we could show. And you and I met in 2023, which is crazy. Like, before the company was even live.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, December 2023. I don't think, you guys hadn't even released anything yet.
Yeah, no, we hadn't, which is absolutely insane. And to think we have so many reports now, we have like so much stuff now that we've added, and we're also adding a lot more too, which is important, obviously, for the traders. And guys, let us know what you'd want us to build. Like, what are things that you want us to build? Like, what are some things that you'd want to see? How would you want us to, like, we're building edgeful AI, obviously, but we want to know, like, how would you use AI in your trading? Like, what do you use AI in your trading right now? I'm curious, actually, if you guys want to let us know right now. Like, do you use AI in your trading? Do you use it for like analyzing your stats? Like, what do you use it for?
Yeah.
So, by the way, 14 minutes until we get that first hour set. This is going to be really important, very, very key. Obviously, expecting it to be pretty bullish, but we'll have to see.
Guys asking our thoughts on RB by rejection for NQ longs. We have to wait, obviously, for the first.
Yeah, you want to make sure you wait.
Yeah. But it does, I mean, obviously, there's only one direction you would like to trade today, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been able to
I'll be right back. I'm going to run to the bathroom quick.
Yeah, streaming for a few hours does you will need to go to the bathroom. So just looking at a few other stocks here, let's put my screen up here and play at the moment as well. We're just having a look at AMD is ripping, right? AMD is looking very bullish. SMCI as well. Could be finding a bottom here to look to trade long. We are at the opening range low. Robinhood as well as MU up 6%. So, I mean, stocks across the board are showing strength. NVIDIA is up 4%. We're starting to move high on that. I think we're up 3. Yep, NVIDIA moving higher too. So, The play is obviously long. Maybe we can find a few individual stock plays today, but for now, the ES and NQ charts are just making their move higher, and they're slowly ticking higher. Anyone have any positions on at the moment? Trade evaluation is how I use ChatGPT. Okay, so basically you put your data into ChatGPT and then you ask it to give you comments and stuff like that. I'd like to see report combinations, combined reports.
Yeah? We are working on that. So
yeah.
One thing that we're working on right now is how you combine two different reports. For example, tell me the orb stats, but only on days with a gap up.
Sure.
Like today would be a great example of that, right? Like we obviously broke the orb high, and I want to know the orb stats based on only gaps up, and also days that whatever opened above the midnight open, right?
Sure.
You can literally do any combination you want, which I think will be great. So yeah, I actually, as crazy as it sounds right now, if you're looking for a scalp, like shorts right now don't look insane.
Let's have a look here. Yeah, but you'd have to be very quick with that for sure.
Yeah. Shorts right now don't, I mean, what ironic timing here, but shorts right now don't look really that insane to me, just because we've tried this 640, 650, 660 for the last, call it 30 minutes.
For a scalp, not for a longer term.
Yeah, for sure. A scalp, like a 20-point move, which is kind of like what just happened here.
Yeah.
But yeah, even potentially, well, like the issue now is that we've made a pretty significant move lower here. So now where do you put your stop? But if you want to have a wider stop, you could target a break of this, like a retracement back here. But we're at a very bullish day right now. So ES is obviously weaker. So if you're looking for a short, what do you think about shorting the weaker index or longing the stronger index?
I do like that. I know Credelli speaks a lot. So Anthony Credelli speaks a lot about that. But for me right now, I'm just wanting to focus on ES at the moment. I do think that there is probably validity in doing that. You know, if you're looking to past indexes, maybe YM's trading a bit better than ES or NQ and looking to buy that. But the only thing is sometimes then you miss like easy moves. For example, if you are looking at YM and then ES gives like your clean setup and then you miss that, it can be a little bit too much. And also from the futures contracts, there's different contract sizing for ES, NQ, and YM. So you normally get for example, if you normally trade ES or YM, the contract sizing is less compared to NQ. So if you go trade 1 mini, if you're used to trading 1 mini and you're used to risking $300 a trade, you can't do that on NQ. It's a bit more aggressive. Yeah,
for sure. And that's actually like one thing that I didn't realize about the CFDs that you had brought up, which I think is very, very interesting. How the CFDs work is that you can like manipulate your position size to be like any fraction of a lot.
Correct.
Which is sick,
very
honestly.
nice.
Yeah,
you can
that's huge.
There's no round lots. It can be like 3.28 or whatever it is. It can be the exact number that you need to do. As I said, like on Friday stream, it is pretty sick. I actually enjoy that.
Yeah.
Obviously, the spreads in that are a lot better on futures, but I mean, it's not like you're getting cooked on the spreads. On like if you're trading like an NQ, you're going to be fine on the spreads. Like the spreads sometimes like less than half a point. You know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I just want to pull up here, like Palantir new high of day, Nvidia about to make new high of day. I don't know, honestly. I'm curious about a scalp short here, specifically on ES because it is the weaker one.
Sure.
But I just want to make sure that if NQ makes a new high of day and fails and ES doesn't even break this orb high, that will give me a little bit more confirmation. But yeah, just kind of trying to give you guys my thoughts here.
Yeah. Yeah, Palantir, New Hive Day. Nothing really like looking like we're wanting to sell off, like coming through heavily.
I know that's the thing. Is like this is not bearish price action. It's
Bearish
crappy
price
price
action. And
action.
look at like Tesla looks like we want to move higher now too. We're still stuck inside the opening range, but Nvidia is starting to make its way. We're above opening range high on Nvidia, and it looks like we're just grinding high at the moment. So it doesn't look
Yeah.
like it's. And normally when Nvidia and Tesla start to roll over, it doesn't look like that right now. It's not like we're breaking the opening range low on either of those two big stocks in the Nasdaq.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't have the confirmation right now, but yeah, I would need some sort of confirmation here on to take a short. And the problem is that, I mean, honestly, longs. I don't know. I'm kind of sitting here waiting. Honestly, like I want something to set up, but this is also the part where if you are like itching to take a trade, which I personally am not at the moment, you will most likely lose.
yeah.
Like if you're itching to take a trade and you're trying to like force something, you're most
Yeah.
going to take a loss.
Yep. You need it. Yeah. You're not thinking clearly.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like there's still 4 other trading days this week. Like I think a lot of this is the thing, bro, with prop firms. I think sometimes the prop firms encourage you to try and trade every single day, and it can
Of
be
course.
yeah.
Yeah, of course they do. Okay, so here we're getting a nice little move higher. I'm curious. I'm paying attention here because if this breaks out to the top side, I mean, it's probably going to on both here. It looks like ES is catching up to break that high of day. I'll try to zoom in here a little bit. There it is on NQ. So new high of day on NQ, not yet on ES. So I mean,
I wouldn't.
There's
I
nothing
still
to
don't
do
like,
here.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I don't like that price though. It could definitely still rip another 300, 400 points higher, but I mean, it's just not like I'll be buying it at the high of the day at the moment.
And then now you also want to be careful about just taking a short, right? Because you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to take a short. My risk to reward is going to be great. And it's not really the case here because you're stepping in front of a
freight train.
Very strong momentum.
Yeah.
Like you zoom out far enough, right? Let's go to even an hourly chart. Like, good luck.
Yeah.
Or if you are going to take a trade, like just size all the way down, right? Like size down to the smallest lot size that you have. But here, I mean, if NQ doesn't continue higher and like follow through on this new high of day and ES doesn't make a new high of day, a scalp short is not horrendous, but that's a couple points, right? And most likely a negative risk to reward, like less than 1.
This is where sometimes I might just go to like an individual stock and look to buy that, you know, or trade that.
Yeah, I'll switch to a 1 minute just so we can. I'm only switching to a 1 minute because so you guys can really see. Like, I don't know what the visibility is like on your end, like on what it actually looks like. But if we look here, we have 3 minutes. Finally, we have 3 minutes until our screener is really going to set up here. But 10:30, it's going to be that first hour of trading. We have some structure here, not great. We have a lot of choppy price action, but yeah, you gotta be really patient here, especially on a day with a giant gap up, like everything. Switching back to our charts here. Tesla new high of day, NQ new high of day, Nvidia new high of day, Palantir new high of day. You got to be careful.
Byron, gap for report showing 0.53% gap, which I don't think is true. Let's measure that, Andre, on NQ.
On NQ, I'll do it right now. So 1.5. What did they say?
He said it's showing 0.53. Is that?
Hold on one
Is
sec.
that? Let's have a look there. Look what it's showing there on the.
Yeah, that is correct.
Yeah, send that. Yeah. If there's anything like that discrepancy in that, we remember that it's the data sometimes can show incorrectly. So most of the, I'd say
Usually
99.
it's the live.
Yes.
I actually haven't seen that.
I've
for the
seen it
most part.
once. 99.9% of the time it's correct, and then or even sometimes people send through stuff and then they haven't checked their side and it's incorrect. They are incorrect. But if there's anything, just send it through if you're not sure, and we can always get a check for you.
Huh. That's weird, honestly. I'm gonna check this on a different one too. Tesla
2.4.
Yeah, Tesla is correct. I don't know why NQ is not right. Well, I messaged our team, so
Yeah.
that'll be fixed soon.
Jeez, what this MU Macron is up 7.36% today. That's pretty crazy. One of the stocks that I was buying long term and so far, where I actually bought so far at about $14 a share.
So far,
Yeah, I bought it back in May.
What do they do? Jesus,
They
what a trade.
yeah, more technologies and that type of stuff. They do a whole bunch of stuff actually, banking, everything, credit loans, technology. Have to. You can actually get a whole breakdown. One of those.
Are you about to ask AI?
Of course. Financial technology company that offers a range of banking, investing, and lending services. So you see, they do a whole bunch of stuff. And they also do financial tools and education, investing platforms, stocks, ETF, crypto trading, commission. So they do like similar to Robinhood.
Yeah.
They also do IT type of stuff. They also do lending, student loan refinancing, and then also banking.
Wow.
Savings.
Do they do anything?
They do literally everything, bro. And then they also, where I first saw them, I was like, they sponsor that. Remember that new golf league, that TGL, that Tiger Woods golf league? It's like the simulator golf league. I was like, what's that company? And then I started, and I was like, and I saw people speaking about it on Twitter. I was like, interesting. I'm gonna buy some. And I bought.
I know people that are down for it. Like,
yeah,
they're like, oh, it's the next Robinhood, whatever else.
Yeah.
By the way, I see a comment here. No trades yet. It's really tough to go long here. If I would take a trade, as crazy as it sounds, it would be a scalp short on ES. This like new Hive day, I mean, so far has been failing. We're now roughly 30 points off of the Hive day. I'm not interested in a scalp short on ES right now.
Sure.
What do you think about that, James? Am I crazy?
I mean, I'm not going to take it, but yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see maybe coming back to opening range low, but as a scalp, I'd say, yeah. Some guys are asking, do you take any trades live? Yes, we do. But obviously today, if we don't see anything, I'm not going to take a trade for the sake of live stream, right? We also want to Yeah, the reason why Andre started edgeful with the whole team and why I work with the team is because we're trying to enforce better trading. You actually want to make money long term. If you put this into perspective, it's like what do most traders that lose long term do? Well, they over position size, they over trade, they over manage their trades, they over position size and over trade are probably the two biggest ones.
Yeah.
So if I'm on a live stream, I'm trying to I'm wanting to make money year in, year out. I'm not trading for tomorrow. I'm trading,
Yeah.
I'm trading for 5-10 years down the line. And if you want to be a trader that can, provide for their family, you want to just think about the long-term stuff. And on a day like today, when I can't see anything, I'm just going to sit on my hands. But yes, we will be taking trades live 100%.
So one thing that like I've done a million live streams, but I have not done too much live trading. And one thing that I think a lot of people might on our side, like streamers,
yes,
will take trades for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That is really tough. Like I've found myself, I've done it before. Like, well, it's been an hour. We haven't taken a trade yet. What if we just take this trade? Whatever. It's like a decent setup, whatever else.
Yeah.
That's the tough part because, yeah, of course, like we want this to be educational, but we also want it to be entertaining. Like we don't want you guys to be like just sitting here like, okay, I'm here just to learn the whole time, right? Like we want to give you guys some like other insights, like whatever else. Like we want it to be like entertaining, like partially, obviously.
Yeah.
And not taking a trade is not entertaining. So that's a difficult piece for us, but we're not going to take trades just because.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's just not going to, we're not going to do that. But James, still, you don't think this scalp short on ES is
Dude, it's been bouncing from that level a lot. But I agree with that. Like a lot of streamers nowadays, they take trades because obviously taking a trade live, winning or losing can be entertaining. But I mean, from the benefit of that, I'm not too sure how much you can get at times because it might not lead to solid trading results, long term. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we have practically Tesla new high of day, Google consolidating, Palantir practically new high of day.
Yeah.
Seamus Tate, you not taking trade is educational and very helpful. Perfect. I'm very happy about that. That's what we're doing right now is we're just sitting here kind of looking at the charts. And what's nice too is that we also have two different opinions here, right? We're not gonna let's open. Actually, we're a few minutes into our first hour. Let's open up our our screener here for a second. So again, just so anyone who's new watching, the screener, I recommend the daily bias template here. I like to have 16 tickers: Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, NVIDIA, Tesla. I'll just keep scrolling here to determine what my bias is for these tickers, right? So here, IB practically has not broken yet across the board. IB buy rejection, super bullish. Just so you guys know, IB buy rejection is a fantastic report. Let me take off my orb now.
Yeah.
Put on my IB. Okay. So IB has not broken yet, but the IB buy rejection is telling us that we can expect price to break the IB high first. So why is that? James, you still hate this short?
Not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Okay. I'm only saying it's a scalp, by the way. For anyone who's listening.
Yeah, if you want opening range
scalp.
low, maybe.
No, I would say even orb low is too far.
Yeah.
I would say orb low is way too far. But even to the midpoint of the orb or the structure low here. Again, this does not mean that I'm taking this trade. I'm not saying that you should take this trade. It is a scalp short is what I'm looking at. I see that ES is weaker. That's why I'm calling it out. I'm asking a friend and a great trader about his opinion on it. He doesn't like it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But we're looking at NQ here. And what we see is for every time that the IB low has formed first, which is what happened here today, very obviously, 80% of the time, the first break of the IB is to the high side. And by the way, we're getting a little bit of a sell-off here.
See, now I'd have to see what happens at this level here, because look how many times we've bounced off of it.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, the rationale between why I kept asking about or kept bringing up this short was we have a high of day here, price pulls back, a larger pullback, a run back up practically to another equal high of day with a fail to break out with another pullback, another run back up, wicked probably a few ticks back above high of day, failed. Right now we're consolidating this area. The idea of the trade that I was thinking about was something like this, right? Something like this, where stop above the high of day, enter in this consolidation, targeting these lows, which in this case, obviously just right now hit, but I didn't take it because I am not trying to step in front of a freight train. Yeah. But also, very importantly, the setup is similar on NQ, but it's not the same. Why is it not the same? Because here we have more equal highs, and on NQ we have higher highs. On NQ, still relatively, so a lot stronger than ES right now. So ES is actually the weaker one. So if you want to go short, in this case, I would be looking at ES as the trade on the short side. Now, if you want to go long, you're not going to be long ES. Like I would rather be long NQ right now. Does that make sense, guys? If you guys have any questions about that, please let me know. But that was the idea of this trade here. And again, you can see just around a 1-to-1. It's not really anything crazy. I'm not targeting the orb low. I'm looking for a scalp roughly to these levels here, which is what I was talking about earlier. But again, you missed some trades too, right? I did not take this trade. I would have told you guys if I took it, but I did not take this trade. But yeah, that's the way. That's the logic.
Yeah, that would have been a nice little scalp. But I don't like it. It's not mine. Yeah.
Yeah, which is fine, right? That's important.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's so yeah. Agree. Like if I would not be selling it down here though. Like look, I would not. Yeah, it just would not be. Look at that level that we've been rejecting off of. We're still middle of the opening range. We haven't even had a 15-minute closure outside of the opening range either on the 50-minute time frame.
What do you think about these wicks on NQ on the top side here?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely showing a little bit of resistance. I agree. But just the short, I mean, it just, I mean, stocks are so green today. I mean, I don't think I see a stock across the board that's red. I literally, GameStop's red and Moderna. I don't see a stock that Home Depot's red. But I mean, other than that, like the big stocks, I don't really see any. And even if they are red, they red like 0.8% or whatever it is, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so now we have now zooming out a little bit. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's not look at the scalps and lower time frames. But we have the IB low formed first today, which is very bullish. Now we are getting some pretty strong bearish price action. Now we are getting a larger pullback here on ES, we're not getting that same pullback on NQ. So we're not getting that same pullback. If you were to consider, now I hate to do this like subjective stuff here, but if you were to consider these swing points, ES has broken the 2 swing lows, NQ has not. I'm not saying that NQ is obviously stronger in its relative structure, but it doesn't mean that you just are going to go short now, and it also doesn't mean that you just go long. Right now, personally, I'm not too big of a fan of the way that this price action is forming, which is unfortunate because it's just unfortunate. Like that's like, if I would obviously prefer to be taking a trade right now, but what we see is overall on our screener, the price action across all stocks, so including all of our tickers here, is 60% bullish. So 60% bullish, 23% bearish, 16% neutral. We're still waiting for primarily the break of the IB, which could flip this, which could shift our bias to be a little bit more neutral than bullish here. Now, obviously, previous day's range report is driving a lot of the green price action, IB buy rejection. Again, massive bullish price action. And then we have opening candle continuation. Obviously, another massively bullish price action, or I keep saying price action, bias. And then IB standard is the one that's still left to be formed, right? We're still waiting for a break of the IB. That has not happened yet, but we are getting a larger sell-off here.
And just show them where you can find that on the edgeful website, that screener, for those that have edgeful but not too sure where to find it. I do speak about it on my live streams, but just, Yeah.
So right over here in the sidebar, you can see the sidebar opens and closes on the screener. You click over here, you go to all, and then now we have our screener. So you can see right over here. We have 16 stocks in here, or 16 stocks and futures in here. And then we have our daily bias template. The daily bias template will automatically change each of these 4 reports for you. Makes your life a lot easier. But yeah, these levels here, overall, the price action should be bullish. You do need to be a little bit more patient today with your entries, with your stops. Widen your stops today. There's a lot of consolidation, a lot of choppy price action. So just be careful.
Yeah, look at this. Still holding up here on ES. Look at that. See
why? I'll pull off my screen one sec.
Yeah. So what I was saying, if you just go down to the lower time frames as well, so let's go to like a 1 minute. Look how we've been just trading. We are actually now underneath a New York session open VWAP like this, which is that blue one. But we are still trading above the overnight and also still inside middle of the range, basically opening range highs here, opening range lows down here. So these trades for me personally are not my most popular trades for me to take. I'd rather look to short, on a day that's, for example, let's go to Friday. I think that would be quite a good day to explain. But basically, if you're looking for shorts, you want to be looking for shorts, something like this, where I actually scalped long off that opening range low, if you remember from Friday's stream. But basically, if you're looking for a short, maybe a short underneath, see how we're underneath that opening range low and we're bouncing off of it. And then you could be looking for like quick scalp short there. I actually took a long once we got back inside the range and ended up closing on the highs. So that was a nice end to the Friday for me, that side. But you want to be trading where you have good levels to trade off of. Right now, we're in sitting middle of the range. The price action's been super boring at the moment. I'd rather just save my trading for another day that's better suited to my style.
So how would you define your style as more trend following?
Yeah, I definitely like to trade more trend. I'm more trend trading and more like base hit trading. I'm not looking for reversals. I mean, like for example, if you're looking to take this reversal trade like this, you could have something like that and have a massive RR in terms of looking to trade back towards yesterday's lows, Friday's lows, something like that. But that's not my style. I'll definitely define my style as more trend trading for sure.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I am getting a little bit annoyed that I didn't take this short, because it actually played out to be a bigger move than I was expecting.
Sure.
I was expecting, so this, just so you guys know, the short that I was looking at was like something along, I'm gonna like plot it back in hindsight, like, which you guys can rewind, you guys can obviously scroll back and see, but I was saying shorts here, if NQ makes a new high of day and fails, ES fails this high of day, I would look to short to target this area right here. But it looks like we're starting to get a little bit more confirmation to this short side, which is crazy considering all the bullish, like the green opening candle here, previous day's high is broken, all these like bullish signals, but we're starting to get that reversal. So this was a counter trend trade, obviously, and I mentioned it would be a scalp, but we are getting a larger move down. Like, as crazy as it sounds, it doesn't really seem that out of the question now to hit that orb low and that new low of day. But now again, my entry's gone. Like I can't take this trade now. Even on this bounce up, if it had bounced up a little bit higher and then consolidated here, I would have been more interested in taking a short. Same thing goes for NQ over here, but ES, in my opinion, was the weaker one. And it's obviously still in relative terms much weaker than NQ, but yeah, nothing we can do here now.
Yeah. Again, so every single Monday and Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll wrap up here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, but 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time every Monday and Friday. So we'll see you guys again on Friday. Make sure to tune in and come with your questions. And hopefully we find a few more trades on Friday. Normally I have seen as well, this is something that we can actually speak about. Let's just get my screen up again. If you look at the volume and range by weekday, so this is maybe something also to keep in mind while I'm still flat, is if you look at this, look how this is in the last 6 months. Okay, this is just in the New York session time. But look how the volume picks up as the week goes on. And I've tweeted about this quite a few times. If you're coming into Monday looking to just, sling it, and if you're back long and short today, just have a look at the data. This data tells me that I'm going to find better opportunities because as a trend trader, I'm going to make more money when markets have more volume, obviously. And as you can see in the last 6 months, even if you look at let's just have a look at the last 5 years, for example's sake as well. But this is on ES, right? Set a load there. But like, look at this. This is even the last five years. Look how volume picks up at Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as the week continues. So if you're someone that's coming in gunslinging from the Monday, it's probably not a good thing, because you're going to find better, more volume trades as the week goes on. A lot of stock traders or even index traders speak about trading with volume, when market's actually moving. And that I think is probably something to keep in mind. You start your Monday off on a bad note. You let Monday turn into a crappy trading day. That can sometimes give you, the rest. It's sometimes hard to bounce back from it the rest of the week. So just bear that in mind.
Yeah.
Now we are actually coming lower here.
Yeah. So this is unreal. So we did get that orb low. Honestly, I was not expecting it, as I mentioned before, specifically on ES being clearly the weaker one here. I'm not sure. Can you check news? Is there any news that's coming out right now?
No financial juice news that's coming through. Let's have a look. Probably not news. It's probably just a pullback we've had a massive gap up overnight. Let's have a look.
Yeah. So
financial juice news. No, nothing at the moment. Nothing at the moment. That's too hectic to watch. And then there's no scheduled news coming out today.
Yeah. So pretty bummed that I didn't take that trade. I hope someone took it, but yeah. Moon 47 USA Co goes 2 for 2 for calling good trades, but not taking them. Thank you both for these. Yeah, I need to this trade was a lot riskier than the one on Friday. So I did call a really, really nice trade on Friday, but that one was actually a very good setup. That one was a very, very clean setup. A nice move down, consolidation. And James caught this rejection to the high, this scalp long. And then this here was a great trade short because there was really nice structure. There was high volume, looking for the break of the IB low. But in this case, zooming out to today, I again did not take this trade because of we had seriously very, very strong bullish price. Did you just have your screen up the whole time?
Yeah, I've got yours up now.
Great. Okay, so I'll just switch back over here one sec. So again, I'll just zoom in for a second. The trade short Friday was actually a very, very high quality setup because there was the red opening candle, break of previous day's low, obviously here. Higher volume, cleaner price action here. So a nice move down, consolidation to the top side, another move down. The IB forms roughly over here. And now we have the high form first. We have a break of previous day's low. We have a red opening candle. Now we're targeting a break of the IB low first. This trade was a much higher quality trade, in my opinion, than this one here. Because of all the bullish factors that played out here on this day, break of previous day's high, green opening candle. We got the break of the IB low today, but in this case, this was a much more counter trend than the NQ trade on Friday. So you also should be able to determine the quality of the trade, which is very, very, very subjective, obviously, but the quality of the trade, you need to understand the context a little bit more too around the environment that you're trading in. So I was talking about shorts here at the high of day on a day where there's a giant gap up on Catalyst news, which was obviously the stuff with the government shutdown, whatever else with the tariff dividends. But now we have a green opening candle. We have the IB low forming first. That's not a short setup. It was a short setup that I identified because I continue to see failing price action to the top side. You look at a 15-minute chart here on ES, there's just wicks. There's no continuation. If you go to a 5-minute chart on NQ, or on ES rather, there's just wicks. There's no continuation here. There's nothing really going on. NQ is making new highs of days. ES is not. ES is obviously the weaker one here. I'm looking to short ES. If I wanted to go long, I would have gone long NQ. That's the way that I would think about it. Now, what do you do from here? It's a good question. I don't know, because we do have pretty bullish bias here overall, but if everything starts to sell off, I don't know. I'm personally not interested in shorts anymore because we just had a 30-point move on ES and a 130-point move on NQ to the downside in 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think it actually could be a good potential location to buy today.
Off of the orb low, or
off of the orb low. Correct. Much better price action, price to be buying off of if you are long biased. But let's see how we hold up here. If we continue sliding, whatever. I'm still, as long as we hold above 800, I'm still going to be interested in more longs on ES 6800.
That's a pretty big move to the downside, to from 830 to 800. Would you? Yeah, that would be a pretty monstrous move, honestly. And to then look for a trade is what I mean.
Yeah.
Personally, looking at ES here, and again, I might take this after the stream, but if we get something like this, right? The issue here is where do you put your stop now? So I would look for continuation to the short side. If price can come back into the IB and then look for shorts here somewhere, and then use this like London range as a stop at 820 on ES. But like I mentioned on Friday, I never like to take a trade on the second run. Like it's in my opinion, it's not as clean on the second run that it is on the first one. So it's just something to consider. But this wouldn't be the second run short. Like if we get a nice bounce up, I would love to see a nice bounce up for continuation to the downside. That would be great. And then you can also look at the IB by retracement to start to look for an entry. So I guess this actually, the retracement is in a much more favorable spot here.
Sure.
So if I zoom in just for a second, so we look at the 25% retracement from the low. I'm going to remove this opening candle. Yeah, no sloppy seconds. Exactly. So I do like this as an entry, but it also depends on how far down we go before we get there. Like if we hit this 800 level and then bounce back up to this 820, the quality of that move is not going to be nearly as nice for me than if we go to this like 810, 808 area and then bounce, because there's just so much more room to travel that I don't know, I'm not too big of a fan of it then. Yeah, you have to be, this is the part of trading that kind of sucks, honestly, where you take the trade, or you identify the trade, you identify the entry, it sets up really nicely, but just the conditions aren't really there. And then in that situation, it works out, but the quality of the setup wasn't really there. So like, just think about like what's happening right now. How often do you see 5 consecutive 5-minute candles that make up 150 points on NQ? Like, this is super rare, right? I mean, it's not super rare, obviously, but like it's pretty rare that this happens, where it's such a clean move down, where you look at a trade, you say like, I'm looking to get short here on ES, and then it just goes straight to your target, like practically zero drawdown. Like that's very, very rare. So the next time you see this, you need to like forget about this trade, which obviously I'm human. Like I'm not going to forget about the trade. Like I thought about the trade on Friday. I'm thinking about this trade now, but my next trade cannot have this in mind.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still going to be looking at potential trades into the afternoon, but we'll wrap it up here. We're going to be live on Friday again. I've just got a call to get on as well, Andre. But I think there's been some good discussions here today, even though I didn't take a trade. Andre didn't take one, but we have spoken about why we didn't. And hopefully that helps you, just with your discipline, sitting on your hands when you need to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, have a good rest of the day, guys. And then we'll see you on Friday, live stream as usual, same time, 9 a.m. Eastern time.
All right, guys.
Yes, sir. Cheers, guys. Have a good rest.